The reason I brought this lawsuit is I saw, when I was working in the federal government, a federal law that was being totally ignored. 1996, Congress passes an act that says in no uncertain terms that no state can offer in-state tuition to illegal aliens unless that state offers in-state tuition to all U.S. citizens as well. Pretty basic, fair concept. If you're going to give people who are here in the country illegally and breaking U.S. federal law in-state tuition, then you ought to give all U.S. citizens in-state tuition as well. Okay, several states started violating that law. I mean, it's like the nullification movement all over again. I think just, who cares? We're obliged to follow federal law, but we're not going to do it. And what this law does, this law is crazy. This law says you get in-state tuition if you are here illegally and you've, I think the requirement is 3 years of high school education in the United States. So if you've been here illegally for 3 years.
It's in Kansas, specifically.
In Kansas, of course. And the law also says that you have to sign a document that says you intend at some abstract point in the future to attempt to become a U.S. citizen if that opportunity ever arises. Well, of course, for someone who's entered illegally, that opportunity is not going to arise, but it's in the conditional. You just say that, yeah, I'd like to become a U.S. citizen someday. Okay, we can all sign that. That's very, very difficult. And then what you get is in-state tuition. Now, you know at KU that roughly speaking, you add tuition, the fees together, in-state tuition is about $4,500 a year, and out-of-state tuition is about $12,500 a year. So it's about an $8,000 benefit. And if 2,000 people a year, which is a reasonable estimate, the total eligible over a 4-year period would be about 2,700. But if 2,000 a year take advantage, 2,000 over a 4-year course of study take advantage of this, you're talking about roughly $15 million a year extra burden on a system that's already $100 million in the hole. So guess what? Your tuition is likely to go up again, or Kansas taxpayers will have to foot that burden. It just does not make sense. We can talk about compassion, but look, compassion has a price.
Compassion has a price? Speaking of compassion, at one point, Kobach's position boiled down to the argument that these undocumented students didn't deserve in-state tuition because, technically speaking, they weren't the ones contributing to the tax base.
They are not, owning property during the ages of 16, 17, and 18.
When we pointed out that even citizen students usually don't pay their parents' taxes, Kobach quickly backtracked.
No, I was never saying that they're not paying. I mean, of course, everyone here, whether you're illegal, you're paying rent somewhere, you're paying sales taxes somewhere. If the difference between in-state and out-of-state tuition is a subsidy, that is a gift, that is an economic benefit that the state chooses to give to people who fall into the in-state category. The value of that subsidy, the value of that economic benefit is $8,000. That's the difference between what you would be paying if you paid out-of-state tuition and what you are paying as an in-state student.
I understand the argument to be what the Kansas taxpayers are paying.
Oh no, it's both. No, the argument is it's much more than just it's both. It's that you're putting a burden on the Kansas taxpayers, and you're putting a burden on the other student.
1 year within becoming eligible, you have to apply.
Let me just take this one. I'm waiting on a call from. Hello. Yeah.